Your name is TAVROS Nitrum. Ever since a tragic accident involving a role-playing augmented reality game, a polar bear, and a sexy blue woman, you have been paralyzed from the hips down. Being paralyzed is hard. Having to wheel yourself around in a chair all the time and hide yourself from the authorities isn't your idea of a rip-roaring time. Having an illegal disability is bad twice. One, that it is hard to deal with, and twice, in that it is illegal. And while you're at it, thrice, because you had no idea how many staircases existed before you lost the use of your legs. You've heard that there are operations that could give you your mobility back, but those are reserved for high bloods, trolls with cooler hues rolling in their blood cases. You're stuck with dirty, worthless, brown blood. The type who, instead of getting corrective surgery, gets killed. So, imagine your elation when your friend Kanaya Mariam offered to help, or at least you were elated to begin with. Now that she's made good on her promise, however... You say hesitantly, laying on the operating table. Above you are Equius Zahak, a prosthetics expert, and Kanaya Mariam, a surgeon.
Are you sure this is going to be safe?
Equius Zahak earned his title from a long career of robotics and bioengineering back home, an artistry with mechanical objects that gives him a sense of pride and joy. Kanaya Mariam, on the other hand, earned her title of surgeon from hacking her already dead Lucis to pieces to extract an egg from her abdomen.
It will be fine,
says the latter in a cold, detached tone of voice that gives you as much reassurance as the cold operating table under your back. You look desperately at Equius, who is silent, the light reflecting from his sunglasses.
Hey, this is a random question, but,
You trail off. Kanaya cocks her head at you, but Equius intuits your question.
Will your new prosthetics be...
Equius hesitates, breathing heavily.
fully functional?
He finishes, putting a hand on your inner thigh. You shudder. Kanaya does too.
Yes.
He answers the question with relish.
Yes. I think you will be most satisfied with its...
Equius breathes in sharply before allowing the last word to leave his wet mouth.
girth.
The revving of a chainsaw makes you twitch in shock, looking away from the unpleasantly salivating roboticist. Kanaya raises the implement above you before Equius places a gentle hand on her shoulder. Kanaya pauses, the chainsaw rumbling like a hungry Maine beast.
Anesthetic?
Equius gently reminds the overeager surgeoness.
Yes,
Says Kanaya as if this thought had just occurred to her. She loudly places a metal gas canister on the table to your right and roughly grabs your horn to move your head into position. She shoves a tube against your mouth, and with all the bedside manner of a sea urchin, she commands.
breathe.
Before you can protest, you feel a light pressure in your breath sacs, your eyelids drooping. You are lulled to sleep by the roar of the chainsaw and the sight of Kanaya bringing it down like an axe, ready to split a particularly difficult piece of wood. You are no longer TAVROS Nitrum on the meteor. You are now TAVROS Nitrum, dreaming. Where are you? You usually awaken on Prospect, dreaming of the golden spires and happy carapacians, but with a twinge of regret, you realize those things have been taken from you by a demon. Now it seems your dreaming self is nowhere. Gone. Where does a body go when it's gone? Your thoughts seem to shimmer before your very eyes. You're not entirely certain you have eyes in your current form, but you can see vague memories taking shape, skittering away like thoughts in your mind. Your insides are out. From the gaps in your vivid thoughts, you think you can see something shifting in the far distance. A squirming mass of flesh, exposed bone, and beaks. eyes, you decide very pointedly not to think about whatever disquieting things lie just beyond consciousness, instead diving headfirst, or whatever equivalent body part you possess in your dreams, into memory. You remain TAVROS Nitrum dreaming, but you are also TAVROS Nitrum of Alternia. The last thing you remember before losing consciousness was leaping off a cliff after a polar bear, your body moving without you giving it orders. You remember playing a game with VRISKA. The next thing you remember is Aradia Megiddo's hive.
Hello?
You say dumbly. You try to sit up in bed, but a white blankness has been laid over your lower body. You only manage to sit up using your arms, your legs limp and heavy. You recognize Aradia's hive from your many visits to it over the sweeps. You live in Outer Horner proper, while she lives on the outskirts, the trash dump of the city, known as Outer Horner. Despite Aradia's shabby accommodations, you're put at ease by familiarity. "TAVROS," Aradia says quietly. She looks slender and pale, her skin bleached from poor sun protection, her torso slim from sparse meals. You're only one social caste above her, but you've often thought that you live like a high-blood compared to her. "What did she do to you?" Aradia whispers, embracing you tightly. You hug back, losing your balance and falling back. Your legs are still blank and numb.
I think she made me jump off a cliff.
You feel guilty. You made Aradia worry. You hate making people worry. You wonder if VRISKA is worried. Aradia is silent, remaining in the hug for a long time. She sniffles. Now you feel more embarrassed, positive that she is sad because of you.
It's okay. Probably, I think. We'll be back to Team Charge in no time.
You chuckle reassuringly, but you fail to reassure anyone in the room. "TAVROS," Aradia says quietly. "I did something bad."
What?
You swallow. You forget the numbness in your legs as you hear Aradia's voice waver. "I wanted to make her pay," Aradia says simply.
Make her pay? No, it's okay, Aradia, really. I'm fine. We'll be back on Flarp in no time. I bet this numbness in my legs is just...
Numbness? Aradia looks horrified, and her expression makes you feel like you've just struck her. You hate this feeling. You wish you could stand up and start doing cartwheels through sheer will. Numbness. TAVROS, did she do something? What if you can't walk? You'll be cold, From outside of Aradia's hive, there is a thump. Aradia's head shoots towards her door. Outside, stars shine above. How long have you been unconscious? It was almost dawn when you fell asleep.
What did you do to VRISKA?
You ask warily. I tried to make her pay, Aradia repeats. I used her powers against her. Aradia doesn't look away from the door. She tried to get into my brain with her powers, probably to see if you were okay, or maybe just to finish the job. Aradia wipes her eyes with her sleeve. Mind control goes both ways. When you worm into someone's mind, they can fight back. They can get into your head if you're not careful. Aradia's voice goes more hollow. You swallow.
So you got back into her head?
You ask. She killed so many people, Aradia says quietly. Her voice is distant. There's a slight twitch to her lips. I always thought she was emotionless and cruel. I thought she killed for fun and sport, like we low-bloods were just Luci for her to kill as she liked. Aradia looks up at you. She's smiling. But she's sorry. Can you believe that? She regrets it all. She remembers every single face all down through time. Your blood runs cold. The look on Aradia's face is manic. So I made her remember them. All at once. Every shred and scrap of regret I made her relive, and I made her think she killed you. I sent every ghost of every lowblood she ever killed back to haunt her. Aradia pants, and you think she might laugh.
What?
You cry out, choking.
That's horrible!
Aradia turns to you, both fists clenched. The thud from outside repeats. It's like someone knocking on the door with their entire body. As if in a trance, she stands. "That's Solix," she says quietly, reaching for the doorknob. You later woke up at home, on the floor, your Lucis Tinkerbull prodding you worriedly with his little snout. You tried to stand, but you couldn't. You never could again. Your memory fades away. Later on, you found out that Solix had brought you home. How Solix had gotten to Aradia's hive, you still don't know. Tinkerbull helped you find a wheelchair in the junk heap outside Outer Horner, and you were able to hide your illegal disability from the authorities until entering the game. You heard Aradia's hive was completely destroyed, burned to cinders, nothing remaining at all. For a sweep or so, you thought Aradia was dead. Then all of a sudden she wasn't. She reappeared online, which you now understand was her ghostly presence on Durse, beaming her consciousness to Alternia. It all strikes you as so confusing and strange, but you hate to imagine all the misery that happened on your account. There's a twinge from inside you, from the waking world. You feel yourself being pulled as if surfacing from the depths of a deep well. You've reached the surface, and you're awake. You are now TAVROS Nitrum, awake. The first thing you feel is a heavy weight below your abdomen. It's been sweeps since you felt anything but blankness below the abdomen, and you're a little in awe.
"How do you feel?"
asks Equius in a grave voice. You look up. Kanai and Equius are both covered in brown liquid oozing from them viscously. "Oh, that's your blood. Better not to think about that, lest you..." you say, puking off the side of the exam table. Neither Kanaya nor Equius move to help you, so you simply dangle limply from the side, unloading your last meal. You sit back upright, wiping your mouth on your sleeve and looking down at your new legs, hesitantly rapping a knuckle on one of the thighs, hearing an echoing clang. More importantly, you can feel a faint tap from where you struck the metal. It's far from the sensation your skin once had, but anything is an improvement on nothing.
"Try to move,"
Equius encourages. You nod resolutely, testing your new capabilities by trying to wiggle your left foot. Equius steps back deftly as your leg straightens, suddenly jutting out at a right angle to your torso.
Whoa!
You lose balance and fall sideways. Kanaya nor Equius make any attempt to catch you.
"I shall do some fine-tuning,"
says Equius, turning to Kanaya, who you could swear just took an experimental lick of her bloody glove.
"You are free to go, Miss Miriam."
With shocking ease, Equius hefts you back onto the table and forces your new metal leg back down. You have a feeling that fine-tuning is something that lies in the more remote end of Equius's wheelhouse.
"Hold still,"
he says sternly as he opens a panel on your leg. You slide off the side of the table and lose what's left of your stomach. It's going to be a long day. Your name is no longer TAVROS Nitrum. Your name is VRISKA Circuit, in the past on Alternia.
I didn't know you cared about casts.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just jealous my best friend is hanging out with someone else.
Aw, Teresi, come on, you're my number 2. I promise we'll raid Team Star next time. That twerp Casper has it coming.
Okay, VRISKA, but for the record, you're the number 2.
You click to close out of the conversation with Teresi, sighing. You feel bad blowing her off, but her clingy demeanor annoys you. What is she, your Moirail? You've got bigger plans today. For as long as you can remember, you had psychic abilities. It began as seeing into the minds of others by closing your eyes, all 8 of them. Your right eye with its single pupil, and your left eye with 7 additional ones, the latter of which could see past the mundane. Your powers first awoke when your Lucis, the immense building-sized spider, first spoke into your head. She had only one thing to say. Feed. Other trolls had more interesting thoughts than your spider Lucis, however. Complicated, interesting thoughts. Thoughts that were open to you if their wills were weak enough. It gave you such delicious insight. Eventually, when you were older, you found you could put thoughts in their heads. Take control of the weak, make them walk right into Mother's jaws. Feeding the fat bitch had never been easier, all thanks to a little journal bound in ancient leather that showed you all the secrets of your ancestor. Your powers are useful, but today you want to put them to use in a different way. You're sick of walking low bloods into Mom's mouth and watching her chew them into viscera, which you assume is a normal thing for a child to grow up seeing. Today, you want to help someone.
VRISKA, I just don't know. Letting you in my head seems, dangerous.
Ugh, TAVROS. Tav, you need to trust me.
Araignée says I shouldn't trust any high blood. Least of all, you.
If Araignée jumped off a cliff, would you do it?
No. Why would anyone jump off a cliff?
Exactly. You're showing me just how stupid you are. Now let me in.
Fine.
You don't need TAVROS to let you in at all, really. You can access his mind with the gentlest of nudges, but asking permission seems appropriate for what you want to do. You close your eyes and focus, your mind reaching across the gap between you, and soon enough you're seeing from TAVROS' eyes, watching him stare down at his dirty floor.
Damn, bro, you live like this?
I don't get a lot of time to tidy. Work sucks. I can't just sit around like some high bloods. Sorry. That was mean.
No, it's good. Show me some backbone, Tav, even if it's towards me. Anyway, are you ready?
Ready.
You feel TAVROS hop on the balls of his feet, watching from behind his eyes as he loads the augmented reality application on a headset. The letters FLARP flash over the display of his house, indicating he has entered the game.
So the plan is... what?
Well, you're no good at PvP because you suck at fighting.
Oh, right. I'm more about feats of acrobatics and stuff. Tomb raiding.
Right. Don't get me wrong, treasure is cool, but you're gonna need to fight other players eventually. So if you can't fight good, you need to beat the enemy with numbers.
Oh, like leveling? That makes sense.
Normally, I'd suggest just killing some low-level enemies in big groups, but that kind of thing isn't gonna work. Since you don't have a lot of free time, we need to be more efficient.
Got it. Meaning, what?
You'll be taking on a raid boss.
Oh. Fuck.
Flarp's program flashes to life in TAVROS' white pair of official Flarp gaming shades, which cover his eyes. An on-screen arrow points vaguely north, indicating the location of a raid boss, a beast normally taken on by parties of at least 3.
Relax, Tav. The raid boss is one of the low-level ones. You'll be able to solo it easy, especially with my help.
I will?
Yeah, I'll help you. I'll be your backseat helper.
That seems like cheating. Also, I know this game is not real in the strictest sense, but I'm pretty sure some players have died to raid bosses. They are game constructs, but the pain feedback the game applies can cause enough shock to kill people. To be clear, I am implying I don't want to be killed.
You're not going to be killed. I just said I'm helping you.
You feel TAVROS getting nervous from your remote viewing of his body. He's shuffling his feet, making his way inch by inch out the door. God, you just want to take control of his legs and force him to move, but you know that's not going to make TAVROS stronger. It would be so fucking easy, But you make yourself stop. You'll have to resort to your words.
Look, you can either risk some pain with a raid boss, or you can get killed for real by another player. It's up to you. But I know you can do this, TAVROS. You're going to be strong.
Okay.
TAVROS nods and you see him picking up the pace. The trek to the raid boss's lair is long, and on the way, TAVROS picks up a few stray kills of various random encounters, leveling up his character once. He seems confident and in control.
Wolbeast, 9 o'clock!
Oh, shit! That scared me. I guess I don't know why it died in one hit. Wow. I always used to run from these random encounters. The flat beasts and leapers look scary, but they're super weak.
TAVROS swings his digital knife through the chest of an augmented reality construct, which shrivels into a pile of pixels. TAVROS does a little fist pump. You use your mind powers to halt his moronic dance.
Aw, you don't like my victory jig.
TAVROS, your victory jig sucks shoot.
I'll work on it.
You don't need a jig at all, dummy. You just need victory.
The way FLARP works is by mixing augmented reality elements with real-life dangers. Some of TAVROS' foes are entirely fake constructs, but many of TAVROS' enemies are actual wildlife throughout the Outer Horner wilderness, from leering carnivorous plants to frogs. Anytime either of those types of foes are dispatched, TAVROS gets those sweet in-game EXP points. You notice, however, that TAVROS seems to be only going for fake AR enemies.
Hey, kill that frog.
What?
Kill it! The game says it's worth 100 points.
Oh, that's not all that much. I still need 10,000 to get to the next level.
All the more reason to kill it.
You realize you are still in control of TAVROS' fist, raising it above his head to strike the frog down. The frog, a fist-sized green number, obliviously croaks on a stone, giving TAVROS a dismissive glance.
VRISKA? Let go.
There's a pause before you let go. You sigh, rubbing your temples. You almost forced TAVROS to kill a frog, which now feels idiotic.
Watch this.
To your surprise, you feel something shift. Suddenly, you're looking down at green arms ending in sticky fingers sitting upon a stone. You're a frog. Why are you a frog? Or why are you in the mind of one? Normally, the only animal you can commune with is your Lucis mother. You feel the frog's back legs kick and land on its back. You're back behind TAVROS again, looking down at the flipped frog. TAVROS obtains 100 EXP.
What was that?
I told you before. I can talk to animals.
Wow. That's pretty cool, actually. Nice job, Tav.
Oh, thanks.
You and TAVROS continue on. You point out danger, and he responds in kind. He uses his powers to manipulate the real-life fauna of the wilds, and before long, you're both lurking behind a bush at the edge of a clearing where the directional indicator has been pointing.
This is where the raid boss should be, right?
Yeah. Fuck, it must be a glitch. It's totally gone. You're supposed to fight an AR construct in the shape of a forest ogre, but I don't see it anywhere.
Darn. Well, even if we have to leave VRISKA, this has been nice.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
You find yourself blushing, even smiling. TAVROS is cool. Even though he's a dweeb and a weakling, spending time rattling around his head has been the most fun you've had in a while.
But this'll all be for nothing if we can't find that ogre. Let me check the wiki online.
You leave TAVROS' head and open your eyes back to your computer screen, beginning to type into the FLARP wiki, a massive and rather disorganized place, full of data on all of FLARP's many systems.
VRISKA, are you seeing this?
Hang on, let me figure this out. Sheesh, impatient.
VRISKA.
TAVROS pings you several more times as you navigate to the spreadsheet on Forest Biome Augmented Reality Enemies.
Okay, It looks like the Outer Horner Clearings boss recently got changed. It doesn't say to what, but it's a higher level raid boss. That must be why there were stronger enemies in the woods on our way in. We'd better come back later. Tav?
You re-enter Tavros' mind and are shocked to see that he's taken off his flarp spectacles. You feel his feet pounding on the forest floor, and you feel his breath pushers wheezing.
Tav!
It's no use. He's not responding to his messages. His head turns, and through his eyes you see it, an alabaster white polar bear, its fins folded back, thundering after Tavros in the underbrush. With your powers, you gently make Tavros put his glasses back on in order to see your messages.
Can't you get into the bear's mind?
No, it's too angry and big and it's pissed off at me. What do I do?
You can't think of anything. Tavros is in real danger, but you also notice the bear's EXP value. 1 million. Your jaw clenches.
You have to fight the bear.
What? I can't fight that thing?
Look how much EXP it has. You can't run from it forever, Tavros. Besides, I have an idea.
I don't want to fight the bear. I don't like fighting real animals.
You don't have a choice. Well, you have a choice. It's just one of them is being mauled to death.
Fuck.
Follow my orders.
The forest is one you know very well. It used to be your stomping grounds back when you were a young flarp player. You know that due west is a drop-off that leads down to a beach. An idea forms in your head as you and Tavros hear the bear closing in from behind. A swipe sending a breeze up the back of Tavros' shirt.
Okay, here's what you're going to do. Turn left of that tree. Make it sudden. The brute isn't going to be able to change direction quickly. Then run until you see a stone with blue moss. I'm going to help you. I'll stop your legs. Do you trust me?
I trust you.
Tavros skids on the forest floor, kicking up leaves as he pivots, dashing straight.
VRISKA!
I know, just trust me.
He sees what you see, the drop-off. It's at least 50 spans in the air, the sea breeze gently flowing in through the trees, the burning maroon of the sun's lingering radioactive light in the distance. Tavros doesn't hesitate. He runs full bore until...
Now!
You take control, stopping Tavros dead a mere 1 span before the cliff's drop-off, shoving with his legs to leap to the side just as the mighty beast barrels past him, sailing off the cliff with a pained wail. You feel Tavros relax, watching the 1 million EXP polar bear careen towards the ground.
Wow. Whew. There it goes. Poor thing. Who's gonna take care of its babies?
Follow it.
What?
Tavros is relaxing. Why is he relaxing? The bear is about to be dashed on the stones below.
When you kill a real-life creature, you have to be within 10 spans of it to get the EXP. Move!
What? And jump off the cliff?
Yes!
You forget to think. You're still in control of Tavros' legs. They coil, making him wind up in a crouch before springing open in a flying leap after the cartwheeling white mass. Tavros screams, and you feel pain raking his vocal flaps as you watch the polar bear far below land on its head. Even though it makes impact on the soft sand, its head is shoved back from its collarbones at a strange angle, as if its neck is made of gelatin, and through Tavros' ears, you hear the sickening crunch of the polar bear's death. For a moment, you're simply floating there with Tavros in midair, the helpless snap of the bear's spine ringing out like an echo. Has gravity released him? Is he floating? A gentle breeze seems to push upward on him, keeping Tavros airborne. Are you flying? No, it's an illusion. Then Tavros' legs hit the sand, flying apart like twigs caught in a storm, snapping up his spine like he's a doll, muscles and bones he never knew he had, nerves inside catching fire with sheer unavoidable agony. Your vision blurs and you shout, falling out of your desk and onto the ground, writhing and wailing, holding your legs in agonized pain, realizing with grim relief that those weren't your legs. There's no pain. You shiver, your mouth dry, realization sinking into your chest like a dull knife. Someone should know about this. The sun is rising. TAVROS is in trouble. Someone needs to save him. You can still give him help. No, this is your fault. This is going to get pinned on you. TAVROS is a low blood. He's just a little nobody, a rust-blooded factory worker who's bad at flarp. You fed dozens of kids like him to your mother. You swallow. Your messages ping.
Oh, VRISKA? What happened? I can't... I can't feel anything.
You swallow again, finding your throat thick and dry. You are no longer VRISKA Circuit in the past on Alternia. Thank you for listening to Homestuck Alternate Universe. HSAU is sponsored by contributions from viewers like you. To learn more, go to patreon.com/funkmclovin. This episode was directed, recorded, and edited by Funk McLovin. The cast, in no particular order: AE as Terezi, articulately composed as Rose and Mom, Bucky as Carcat, Captain Lazar as Jack Noir, Eclipi as Gamzee and Equius, Janaya as Kanaya and Jade, Pakin as Tavros, Technically Dead as Solix, Harper as VRISKA, Shrimp as Nepeta, and West as Pfeffery. Art by Sunny Dionysus, Gastro, and Clown's Kiss. Supplemental art by Funk McLovin, based on characters by Andrew Hussie. Special thanks to Daft Class, Yo It's Crow, and Andrew Hussie. Homestuck Alternate Universe is not affiliated with What Pumpkin or Viz Media. To read Homestuck's original webcomic, please go to homestuck.com or bambosh.dev/unofficial-homestuck-collection. Thank you.